Okay, this is our last day on logs, and we're going to talk about how to solve equations like this. So we have log base 5 of 4x minus 3 is equal to log base 5 of 27. And the easiest way to think about this, so here's the idea we're going to use. It's called the equality property. It says if you have the log of one base of x and then the log of the same base of y, then the things in the logs, the x and the y, have to be equal. Okay, so let's see how that applies to this case. So we have log base 5 over here. We have log base 5 over here. So think of it as log base 5 of blank equals log base 5 of blank. Well, the only way that these two things could be equal is if whatever's in the blank is also equal. You can't have log base 5 of one thing, say 6, and then log base 5 of another thing and have them be equal. So in order for these to truly be equal, whatever goes in the blank has to be the same number. Okay, so using that idea, that tells me that 4x minus 3 and 27 both have to be the same thing. They have to be equal. And once I know that, I now have a new equation that I can solve for x, and it'll tell me what x has to be so that 4x minus 3 and 27 are the same. So let's go ahead and solve this for x. Remember, we got to undo everything that's going on over here. We got times 4 and a minus 3. So remember, order of operations, we do parentheses, then exponents, then multiply and divide, then add and subtract. So that's when we're calculating, right? When we're solving, we have to undo things in reverse order. So we always talk about when you get dressed in the morning, you put your socks on, then you put on your shoes. To undo that, first you have to take your shoes off, then you have to take off your socks. So when I calculate this, I would first times by 4 and then subtract 3 because that's what order of operations tell me to do. When I undo it, I have to first add 3 back and then divide by 4. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And that's going to cancel out over here. We're going to get 4x equals 27 plus 3 is 30. Okay, and then I can divide both sides by 4. And that gives me x equals 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4 is going to come out to be 7.5. You can use your calculator to help you out if you need to. So that's my answer for x. Now just to kind of show our point, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it back into the equation. So this is going to be 4 times 7.5 minus 3, okay, whatever that equals, and we're going to take the log base 5 of that, and it should equal log base 5 of 27. Okay, so watch what happens here. So 4 times 7.3 is 30, and 30 minus 3 is 27. So this right here is basically 27. And surely log base 5 of 27 is going to equal log base 5 of 27. So that x value of 7.5 did make these two things equal because it made the things inside the logs equal. So that's the idea of using the equality property. Here's another example. So we have log base 5 of x plus 5 is equal to log base 5 of 3x minus 15. So using our equality principle, because the logs are the same base, the only way they can be equal is if these two things are equal. So we have x plus 5 is equal to 3x minus 15. And now to solve this, I'm going to first get all my x's on one side, and I always like to move the one with the smaller coefficient because it's easier. So subtract x from both sides, and that's going to cancel. I'll get 5 is equal to 3x minus 1x is 2x, and you still have the minus 15 there. Okay, so next I'm going to want to add 15 to both sides to get rid of that. So adding 15 to negative 15 is going to cancel that out. I'm going to have a 2x is equal to 5 plus 15. That comes out to be 20. And now I would divide both sides by 2 to see what x is. You can tell already it's probably going to be 10, right? X equals 10. And just to show, highlight this idea again. So let's say we put 10 back in here for x. You got 10 plus 5, so that's 15. Okay, and then you got 3 times 10, which is 30, minus 15 is 15. So I basically, on both sides, I got log base 5 of 15 is equal to log base 5 of 15. So those are obviously going to be the same. So because x equaled 10, these things came out to be equal.